On a crisp autumn afternoon, in the small, fog-cloaked town of Brookfield, a man named Marcus Miller worked tirelessly at the local auto repair shop. A mechanic by trade, Marcus had never thought much about fame, fortune, or glory. His days were filled with oil changes, tire rotations, and fixing broken engines for the residents who lived in the surrounding neighborhood. His life was simple, but it was enough for him. He didn't need much beyond the comfort of his modest home at the edge of town, where he lived alone, content in his routine. It was during one of these long workdays, the kind where exhaustion drips like sweat from his brow, that fate took an unexpected turn. On his drive home one evening, under the heavy gray clouds that loomed ominously over the hills, Marcus noticed a car parked by the side of the road. Its hazard lights blinked rhythmically in the rain, a lonely beacon in the storm. As he slowed down, Marcus saw a woman standing next to the car, clutching her coat around her slender frame. She was soaked to the bone, her face pale against the stark backdrop of rain and mist. Marcus didn't hesitate. He pulled his weathered truck over and stepped out into the cold, his boots splashing in the puddles as he made his way toward the stranger. "Hey, you need some help?" Marcus called over the storm, his voice strong despite the wind howling around them. The woman looked up, relief flooding her face as she nodded. "My car won't start. I don't know what happened," she said, her voice trembling with the cold and frustration. Marcus approached her car, quickly assessing the situation. He popped the hood and checked the battery, and with a quick glance at the woman, he knew it was a simple fix. He didn't need to do much, just a jump start. "Don't worry," Marcus said, his voice calm and reassuring. "This won't take long. I've got you." He worked swiftly, connecting the cables to his truck, the rain pelting his skin but not slowing him down. After a few moments, he gave the car a little nudge, and it roared back to life. The woman's eyes lit up with gratitude. "Oh, thank you so much," she said, stepping back from the car, her hands trembling as she offered him a bill. "I can't believe you stopped to help me." Marcus waved his hand dismissively, offering a kind smile. "No need for that. It's just a little thing. Don't mention it." She seemed to hesitate, then smiled warmly, her eyes holding something deeper, something more than mere thanks. "Is there anything I could do for you in return?" she asked. Marcus shook his head. "No, just pay it forward someday." The woman looked at him with an odd intensity, as if something unspoken passed between them in that brief moment. She nodded, still grateful, and with a final wave, she drove off into the storm, leaving Marcus standing alone on the side of the road. Life resumed its usual pace for Marcus in the following days. The garage buzzed with work, the rhythm of car repairs grounding him in the mundane. But 2 days later, something completely unexpected would happen, something that would change his life forever. It was late morning when Marcus received a call from his neighbor, Jack, his voice urgent. "Marcus, you won't believe this, but there's a helicopter in front of your house." "A helicopter?" Marcus was stunned. Confusion washed over him as he wiped grease off his hands and made his way out of the garage. He couldn't imagine what could possibly bring a helicopter to his humble little neighborhood. As he turned onto his street, Marcus felt his heart race. There, sitting on the front lawn of his modest house, was a sleek, high-end helicopter, its rotor blades slowly spinning in the wind. A group of sharply dressed individuals stood near it, waiting. He parked his truck on the side of the road, his stomach in knots, and slowly walked toward the group. His mind raced with questions, none of which made any sense. Before he could speak, a tall man in a suit stepped forward. "Mr. Miller," he said, his tone formal yet warm, "we're here on behalf of someone you helped 2 days ago. A woman named Olivia." "Olivia, the woman with the broken car." Marcus blinked in confusion. "Olivia? The woman I helped on the side of the road?" he asked, his mind struggling to connect the dots. The man nodded. "Yes, sir. If you come with us, we'll explain everything." Still unsure, Marcus followed the man toward the helicopter. As he climbed aboard, the confusion gnawed at him, but curiosity pushed him forward. The helicopter rose smoothly, carrying them above the town. The landscape below blurred into a patchwork of homes and fields as Marcus tried to make sense of what was happening. It wasn't long before the helicopter began its descent toward a sprawling estate on the outskirts of Brookfield. Marcus's jaw dropped as he gazed out the window at the sight below. The mansion, nestled amid rolling hills and vast gardens, was nothing like anything he had ever seen. It was grand, extravagant, a palace compared to his modest life. The helicopter landed with a soft thud, and Marcus was escorted inside the mansion. Everything felt surreal, as if he had entered a different world. The floors gleamed like polished marble, and the walls were adorned with priceless works of art. The grandeur was overwhelming, yet somehow cold. He was led through the mansion until they reached a large room with floor-to-ceiling windows that looked out over the meticulously manicured gardens. And there, standing by the window, was Olivia. She was no longer the soaked, tired woman from the side of the road. Olivia was dressed in an elegant outfit, her posture straight and composed, her eyes sharp and focused. When she turned to face Marcus, a warm smile spread across her face. But there was something else in her gaze, a seriousness, a depth that was both reassuring and unsettling. "Marcus," Olivia said, her voice calm, "I've been waiting for you." Marcus stood frozen for a moment, unsure of what to say. "Olivia, what is all this? Why the helicopter? Why bring me here?" he asked, his voice tinged with confusion and disbelief. Olivia took a step forward, her expression softening. "You helped me when I needed it most," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "And when I got home, I realized something. You didn't just fix my car. You reminded me of something I had lost, something far more valuable than money. Kindness. You gave me something with no expectation of return. And that's why I want to do something for you." Marcus was silent, his heart pounding. The grand mansion, the helicopter, the mystery surrounding Olivia. It was all too much to process. But Olivia continued, her voice steady and sincere. "I'm not just Olivia," she said. "I'm the owner of this estate, and I have resources beyond what most people could imagine. But that day in the rain, I was just another person desperate for help, and you came through for me. Now, I want to offer you something that will change your life." She gestured to a small table where an envelope and a set of keys lay. Marcus's eyes widened as she handed them to him. "These," she said, "represent a new beginning for you. The envelope contains enough money for you to live comfortably for the rest of your life. And the keys, they're to a car far better than your old truck. But that's not all." Marcus couldn't speak. The idea of financial security, of freedom from his daily struggles, overwhelmed him. Olivia's gaze softened. "There's more," she said. "I want to offer you a position with me. Your skills, your heart, there's something I value. It's an opportunity to leave behind your old life and step into a new world." Marcus felt as though the ground had shifted beneath his feet. He had helped a woman in need, and now his entire life was being turned upside down. He stared at the envelope in his hands, the enormity of what was being offered leaving him speechless. "This is unbelievable," he whispered. "I don't know what to say." Olivia smiled warmly. "You don't have to say anything. Just know that you've earned this. Your kindness is the reason you're here today." The days that followed were filled with confusion, gratitude, and the overwhelming weight of a life-altering decision. Marcus returned to his garage, but every moment felt different now. The offer sat heavy in his mind, and the life he had known seemed both distant and unimportant. Finally, after days of contemplation, Marcus made his decision. He called Olivia, his voice steady as he accepted her offer. The helicopter returned to take him back to the mansion, this time not as a strange, surreal moment, but as the start of something new. As he settled into his new life, working alongside Olivia, Marcus found a sense of purpose he had never known before. The work was challenging, but rewarding, and every day brought new opportunities. He often thought about the simple act of kindness that had led him here. The rain, the broken car, the decision to stop and help, it had all led to this. And as Marcus looked out over the vast gardens from the mansion's window, he realized something important. Sometimes, a single act of kindness can change everything. It's not just about fixing cars, it's about fixing lives.